Welcome, everyone. I get a little teary-eyed watching that. We haven't been together for so long, and it is just thrilling to invite you back onto our campus to celebrate these fabulous graduates. My name's Becca Tatishev. I'm the principal here at Cabot School, and this was my first year, and this is our first graduating class with me as principal. So I am deeply honored to stand in front of you and them today. So tonight we gather to celebrate the remarkable accomplishments of our graduates. The class of 2021 is joined by several members of the class of 2020 in celebration of their completion of high school. But tonight we will also recognize more than just our graduates. We want to recognize and honor the community that supported them along the way. Thank you to all of you who are joining us in person and virtually to celebrate our graduates. Thank you to our faculty and staff who have ushered you through these journeys of joy, challenges, and triumphs. Thank you to the families. This past year and a half, you have taken more than at any other moment. You have been teachers and cheerleaders. You have been partners as you have navigated alongside these remarkable young people, some of the most challenging and uncertain times in history. Let's take a moment to acknowledge the family and community that surround us today. And finally, welcome graduates. You are a class that is unique beyond all others. Through deep uncertainty, you have risen to this moment. You are more prepared to take on the challenges ahead because your path has not been easy. You, above all others, are poised to encounter the world equipped with the independence and community-mindedness to make change in the world. Let's celebrate you this evening. To help us begin that celebration, one of our fabulous 2021 class members, Danielle Reeves, is going to introduce our graduation speaker. Danielle.
I'd like to introduce our guest speaker, Alex Maycumber, who joined our Cabot School community in the fall of 2018. He was an English teacher, an advisor, a mentor, and a friend to many. The classes of 2020 and 2021 are happy to welcome him back today to help us send us on to our next chapter of our lives.
Can I take this thing off? Okay. Hi, everybody.
Hi, Alex.
All right. Thank you all for the warm welcome this evening. Please let me start by congratulating our graduates on all of their hard work. You've all put in the time and effort to sit where you are right now, and so enjoy that seat because you've earned it. I'm honored to have been invited to speak to you tonight. This is my first speech of this nature, and I'd be lying if I said I wasn't a little nervous. I might be a teacher, but public speaking's still a daunting task, especially when that task is honoring this incredibly gifted group of students. Can we give them another round of applause? So it goes without saying that I'm nervous to be up here right now. But isn't that where we grow the most? When we're nervous, but we do it anyway. For anyone here tonight that I've not had the pleasure of meeting yet, I started my professional career here, right at Cabot, when these graduates were in the 10th grade. They were my very first batch of students, and I'm sure that I stumbled along the way with them. But judging from where they are right now, I guess things turned out all right. And my goodness, they've come so far since then. Thank you for your patience. I showed up here on my first day with Dana, my PE teaching best friend, in matching gray Husky shirts, I might add, because nothing says, please take me seriously, like coordinating cotton t-shirts. I was only 23, and I was sure of one thing. I was not ready for this job. No part of me felt qualified to teach these students. It was still so much in the world that I hadn't learned myself. I just finished college, and I was now responsible for educating these young humans about the English language. It's one thing to learn all that stuff in college and demonstrate it on an exam. It's another thing entirely when you have a living, breathing person in front of you that you're meant to support and nurture. And now that I'm saying this out loud, I wonder if that's what parenting feels like. See, so much to learn. I spent that first morning planning icebreaker activities, decorating the walls and the chalkboards, and organizing my classroom chairs by color. And then, in come these teenagers. They immediately start badgering me with questions. What's your name? Why are you teaching here? Why does the room look like this? And if I'm being honest, I don't even think that Charlotte had shoes on. Do you remember? Charlotte, ladies and gentlemen. Dear God, I thought to myself, what have I gotten into? Fast forward a few weeks to our team building trip to Siskin. Here I am, struggling in the forest to start a fire using sticks with Micaiah. Do you remember that? Yeah. And trying to unclip Aiden from a zip line after I narrowly avoided a black eye from his knee. And I've got to say that, Brian, I don't remember that in the job description. It snuck up on me. Well, when in Rome. Over time, I became less nervous. I stopped trying so hard to do what I thought a teacher was supposed to do, and I started doing what felt right, working with students. Together, we published a cookbook, we catered the Startup Pitches event night, we wrote scripts and created not one, but 2 incredible student films. We wrote speeches and professed our American dreams. We hosted important student-led discussions with our community members, and so much more. I say we did these things, but really that's a bit of a misnomer. You did these things. You all demonstrated more interest in your own learning and support for one another than I have ever seen in individuals your age. I am truly in awe of every one of you. When I think back on the amazing experiences we had at this school, I remember how nervous we were in those moments before final exhibition nights. But we did it anyway. You did it anyway. Graduates, I'd like you to take a moment and think back to your very first day of high school. Think back to meeting your teachers for the very first time, I'll bet some of you were nervous, but you did it anyway. And think back to when you took your first driving test for your license. I'm looking at you, Victoria. Or the first time you performed on stage. You were probably really nervous, but you did it anyway. It's in those moments where every cell in our bodies is telling us to turn around and run, but we stand firm, that we become a better version of ourselves. For example, what would happen if Pocahontas avoided John Smith altogether? Or what if Simba was too afraid to go back to Pride Rock? You guys knew a Disney reference was coming. You asked me to speak, right? You get what you pay for. There's a life. My point is, when you feel defeated or that you can't do something, select yourself and remember that you can. The fact that you're here tonight is a test that you can. And this might be a nice time to hit the pause button and really soak in this memory, all right? I'm going to teach you one, okay? I want you to look out into the audience. Really look out there. Just pause for a moment. And let this soak into your memory, okay? They're so proud of you. When I got asked to speak at graduation, I was sure of one thing. I was not ready for it. No part of me felt qualified to deliver advice and wisdom to these wonderful individuals. After all, I'm still learning. And I firmly believe that these students taught me more than I ever taught them. But I pushed down the butterflies, and I chose to speak tonight anyway. My hope for you all is that you learned this lesson before I did. Whether you're college-bound, ready to join the workforce, or setting off on your own adventure, experience all that you can, and don't ever let your nerves get in the way. To the class of 2021, I'd like to leave you with this. When a new opportunity arises and you feel anxious, do it anyway. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Jackie Batten, and I am the middle and high school counselor here at Cabot. I am very proud to announce that the senior class of 2021 was awarded $221,700 in scholarship funding this year. When I call your name, please join me. Blue Christensen. Blue has been awarded the Central Vermont Career Center Scholar Award, and his film Chronology, created as part of his studies in digital media arts, won first place in contemporary social pieces in the Freedom and Unity Young Filmmakers Contest. Congrats, Blue. Thank you. Victoria Mayo. Victoria has been awarded the Gaining Early Awareness and Readiness for Undergraduate Program Scholarship and the Vermont Grant. Nice, Victoria. Aiden Morris. Aiden has been awarded the Justin Merrill Scholarship and the University of Vermont Award. Nice. Well done. Leo Carlo. Leo has been awarded the Gaining Early Awareness and Readiness for Undergraduate Program Scholarship, the Vermont Endowment Scholarship, and the University of Vermont Green and Gold Scholarship. Danielle Reeves. Danielle has been awarded the Governor Phil Hoff Vermont Honor Scholarship, the Vermont Endowment Scholarship, the Gaining Early Awareness and Readiness for Undergraduate Programs Scholarship, the Cabot Alumni Association Scholarship, Bennington College's Vermont Leaders Scholarship, and she was named a Bennington Williams Kilpatrick Scholar. Well done. Micaiah Smith. Okay. Micaiah has been awarded the Gaining Early Awareness and Readiness for Undergraduate Program Scholarship and the Helen K. and Robert T. Stafford Fund Scholarship. Congrats. And Jonah Sachs. Jonah Sachs has been awarded the Cabot Community Investment Fund Scholarship. Well done, Jonah. Emmett Snyder. Emmett has been awarded the Hampshire College Non Sati Scire Scholarship, the Hampshire College Grant, and the Cabot Community Investment Fund Scholarship. Congrats. And finally, Victoria and Danielle, please join me once again. So every year, the Cabot School faculty and staff take a moment to honor one or two of our graduates. And this year, the Cabot School Faculty and Staff Scholarship is awarded to Danielle Reeves and Victoria Mayo. Congrats. Congratulations, class of 2021.
The families of the class of 2021 would like to present a gift to the graduates. As some of you might remember in past years, the Cabot High School graduation ceremony included a community parent chorus. This year has been so unusual, and so was the approach to chorus. Since we are masked and physically distanced, we invite all of you to join in singing along to this year's song. This song was selected because it encourages our graduates and reminds all of us to live life to the fullest and not take it for granted. And that in our living, we also have the responsibility to others. Please stand and join us in serenading our graduates with End of the Line by the Traveling Wilburys. You can find words in your program.
Well, it's all right, riding around in the breeze. Well, it's all right, if you live the life you please. Well, it's all right, doing the best you can. Well, it's all right, as long as you lend a hand. You can sit around and wait for the phone to ring, waiting for someone to tell you everything. Sit around and wonder what tomorrow will bring. Maybe a diamond ring. Well, it's all right, even if they say you're wrong. Well, it's all right, sometimes you gotta be strong. Well, it's all right, as long as you got someone to lay. Well, it's all right, every day is Judgment Day. Maybe somewhere down the road away, you'll think of me and wonder where I am these days. Maybe somewhere down the road when somebody plays Purple Haze. Well, it's all right, even when push comes to shove. Well, it's all right, if you got someone to love. Well, it's all right, everything will work out fine. Well, it's all right, we're going to the end of the line. Don't have you're by my side, I'm satisfied. Well, it's alright, even if you're older than grain. Well, it's alright, you still got something to say. Well, it's alright, remember to live and let live. Well, it's alright, the best you can do is forgive. Well, it's alright, riding around on the breeze. Well, it's alright, if you live the life you please. Well, it's alright, even if the sun don't shine. Well, it's alright, we're going to the end of the line.
Thank you, and thank you, Lori and families, for organizing that. At this time, I'd like to ask for Brandy and Addie Goodrich to join me on stage. As I mentioned earlier, today is about our graduates and celebrating our graduates, but it is also about you, all of us as the community who helped raise them. And two people who have raised many, many in this community are retiring this year. For nearly 40 years, Carolyn Deasy and Donna Ferrario have supported and been anchors for our youngest learners. They have taught the parents of many of our current students, and upon their retirement, they will leave a legacy of kindness, community, and creativity that we can only hope to carry on with such poise and calm. The Goodrich family would like to honor each of them with a special planting in the fall. But for now, I'd like us to recognize their service to our community. Carolyn and Donna, we wish you the best on your new adventures, and we hope that we will be in your hearts just as you are in ours. We'd like you to come to the stage, please. And at this point, I would like Lisa Olson to come and honor another member of our extended community.
Hi, my name is Lisa Olson, and I am the chair of the Cabot School Board. Let me take this off. I would like to say a few words on behalf of the school board about our decision to dedicate Cabot's Gymnasium in honor of Peter Ackerman. Pete was well known and loved in Cabot, so many of you already know that Pete was the Facilities and Operations Director at Cabot School for 8 years. Pete was a pragmatic, self-directed problem solver. From his work in farming, excavation, and construction, he came to us already understanding buildings and their structures and systems. Pete was dedicated and capable and thrifty. He had a farmer's get-it-done attitude. Instead of paying contractors to come in from Burlington every month to check the ventilation, he learned how to do it himself and was able to maintain the systems. When the high school flooded after an all-night rainstorm, Pete came in every few hours, all night long, to make sure the sump pump was still working to evacuate the water out of the lower floor of the high school building. And first thing on Monday, he called an engineer to find out how they could make sure it would never happen again. Pete was also an essential part of our school community. He enjoyed being around the kids and staff members at school. He worked with teachers to solve facility issues in their classrooms. Often he had students working with him to complete different jobs around the campus. He was always smiling and happy to help with anything. Pete's dedication to improving the school without getting huge bills for us is maybe best shown by the efforts he took with the gym. When the gym roof was leaking and the bond vote to renovate was narrowly defeated, Pete was determined to get the roof replaced while spending as little as necessary, whatever it took, even if that meant having his own crew at school do much of the work. When the town approved some UDAG funds for the work the following year, Pete worked with the roofing and insulation crews to make sure the job was done well. He kept the multiple buildings of the Cabot School campus functioning well despite their age and challenges. And he used budget dollars, his own time, and his crew's time wisely. Pete gave above and beyond of himself to our school. To honor Peter Ackerman, the school board has commissioned the creation of a plaque that will hang at the entrance to the gym. The plaque reads, "In appreciation of Peter Ackerman's diligent and thoughtful care, maintenance, and improvement of our Cabot School facility for almost a decade, and in particular for his efforts on behalf of our school's gymnasium, where he competed as a student athlete, cheered from the stands as an enthusiastic parent, and worked tirelessly to improve as our facilities director, we, the directors of Cabot School, do hereby commemorate his invaluable contributions to our school and community by naming our school gym the Peter Ackerman Memorial Gymnasium." We are honored to have members of Pete's family join us this evening for the dedication of the gym to his memory. Thank you so much for sharing your son, your husband, your father with Cabot School. He has meant so much to all of us here. And we have a copy of the plaque to give to the family.
As we continue to celebrate our graduates, we also know that there are many people in this community who have been integral parts of their learning. Brian Boyes has been that for these students. He has been particularly important in their growth as musicians, artists, and people. The class of 2021 asked that Brian give his own gift of music to the class. Brian will perform the 1936 jazz standard composed by Isham Jones, "There Is No Greater Love," with piano accompaniment by Ira Friedman.
There's Ira. You don't need a rehearsal, right?
Thank you, Brian. And now we turn to our graduates to present the words of farewell for the class of 2021, Jonah Sachs, Aiden Morse, and Leo Parlow.
Hi, everybody. It's great to see you all here. It's great to be anywhere other than inside, actually. Just being here in person is so special, and I'm glad you're all here to experience it with me. But look at all of us. We did it. It kind of felt like we weren't gonna get here, but. It's been a long 14 months, you know. But we all pulled through, and I'm super proud of my classmates. And I think I should probably get to reading what I'm actually supposed to. Before I say anything else, let me begin by thanking all of you for coming tonight. I know that it means a great deal to the faculty, the school, and especially to us, the graduating class of 2021. Throughout this tough, frustrating, and oftentimes confusing year, we have all dreamt of the day that the light finally starts to make itself clear at the end of the previously Let me try that one again. An oftentimes confusing year. We have all dreamt of the day that light finally starts to make itself clear at the end of a previously pitch black tunnel. There we go. That's better. We've had to contend with the anxiety that a worldwide pandemic causes, the constant feeling of uselessness that one begins to contract after so many months stuck inside during the winter, and the infamous malevolence of Zoom. Despite this, we survived and came out the other side as more intelligent, wise, and respectable human beings. Ooh.
Cabot is different from other public schools. Cabot doesn't just teach its students how to be good workers, learners, and community members. It teaches us who we are and pushes us to do the things we really want to do. It strives to make us look back on our childhood with fondness, not with regret, because we have nothing to regret. We still get to do what we love at work, at home, and with our friends. Cabot is not just a school for academics. It's not even just a school. It's a home. And every home has its flaws, but with the faults are what make it unique. These problems cannot erase the beauty of Cabot and the love we have for this place. Because for us, those little cracks represent every bit of charm this school and town has. We all come from different backgrounds. We all have different worldviews. And we all learn in different ways. At Cabot School, our strengths were allowed to grow. The community reinforced and fostered our individual interests. We did not slip through the woodwork. We were seen as people, as a diverse class, instead of another group that would leave after 4 years. We got to be ourselves, and that's what mattered the most.
As a homeschooler, I was taught by my parents, and, well, these guys were taught by their siblings and friends. I had the freedom to position my academics within the vicinity of my interests. This resulted in an unforgettable experience at Cabot, not just because I had a different academic background, but because I had no idea what the heck I was doing during my freshman year. Nobody wants something good to end, but we have to accept those endings to move on. Stories have to come to a close, especially if we want to make them ones worth reading. My life at Cabot has been the highlight of everything I hold dear, but we cannot change the fact that our time here is coming to an end. It is an end that comes as soon as I am done speaking, and for this reason, I almost don't want to stop. Yet when things are scary and your entire world makes a dramatic change, remember these words of wisdom. We do not get to decide what happens in our time. All we get to decide is what to do with the time that is given to us. This has been our home for 4 years, and it means so much to each and every one of us. I know every crack in the wall, every flagstone, and every step on the way to the lunch hall. The smells, the tastes, the sounds, all of it will be with me for the rest of my life. I will always remember the whoosh of air as Thomas threw an eraser at my head. I will never forget Anthony's many insults to the France of World War II. Alex's disappointed looks, both the new and the old, as I hand them an overly long, unedited paper with a stupid grin. Brian's enthusiastic dancing as we play a song in band, or yet another day of him wearing his shirt backwards. The Limes trip, the ultimate team, every single mile Mr. Stratman made us run. Every single syllable of Spanish class, most of them mispronounced. These little moments make up our time at Cabot. These little moments make up our lives, and I'm grateful, and we're all grateful, that we got to have so many of them here.
Joining us today to present words of farewell on behalf of the members of the class of 2020 who are here today, Louis Searles.
Move that a little bit. All right. March 27th, 2020 was a Friday. By then, I was more in tune with the rhythm of my high school than I was with that of my own house. So that Friday, I knew something was wrong the second I walked in the doors. But I couldn't pin down why. All throughout the day, little insignificant things were making me more and more sure that something was off, but red flags shot up for all of us as soon as Glenda's voice came over the intercom right before the end of our last class, calling us to a community meeting, which always happened on Wednesdays, on a Friday afternoon. The meeting was brief, 10 minutes at most. They told us not to worry, but to prepare just in case, and to check our emails constantly, to bring our laptops, our textbooks, and our instruments home. They told us that it would all be okay, but I knew. I knew by the look they gave us, me and my 2 classmates, Cabot School's 100th graduating senior class. We never went back to school that Monday, or any other Monday after that. In the end, it all worked out. We spent that trimester in the surreal and uncanny landscape of Zoom, spent it on the front lines of a new form of musical theater, spent it as journalists, innovators, scientists, creators, and researchers. With the incredible and invaluable dedication, skill, and determination of our faculty and staff, we rolled with every punch, pivoted everywhere we needed to, and held our ground everywhere else. We created work from the ground up that I could not be more proud of. But when graduation came, I never got to walk at the ceremony we had spent months planning. I never got to hug my friends and teachers goodbye. I never got to play in the band one last time. We placed a time capsule in the attic of a building that had become more like a home than a classroom, and pretended that that was closure enough to quell the ache. We put handprints in that building with white paint in the blind hope that the people who frequent it would remember us. For a year, we stood at that threshold, waiting. And we did all of this under the premise that it would get better, that we would eventually get our closure. We did all of this under the gentle wings of hope. Emily Dickinson wrote that hope is the thing with feathers that perches on the soul. But if this year has taught us anything, it has taught us that hope is also the thing with branches, the tall and steadfast cedar tree whose roots extend deep into the earth that offers shelter from the sweltering sun. It is the thing that sings from balconies and computer speakers the unyielding dance of music that coaxes the world towards progress. Paired with anger, it is the thing with iron talons, the unyielding grip that sinks into oppressive systems and eventually crumbles them to dust. It is the thing with a soft voice, laced with the echoes of an ancient soul that rises above the static and the noise. And here, on these grounds, hallowed by our experiences and the memories we will carry forward, in these buildings that sheltered us during the most tumultuous storms, and with these people who sang us songs and stories and lessons, hope is the thing with tall bay windows that wash a room in sunlight, that harbors countless books and memories, and it is the people who teach us that the world is neither flawless nor hopeless. It is the thing with blacktop islands and cabinets of oddities, always adorned by endearing disorganization, and it is the people who teach us how the world works so that we may change it. It is the thing with a tin roof and a ghost in the wires, where music seeps from the woodwork and bleeds from the walls, and it is the people who teach us to trust ourselves and to always search for hope, so that we and our music may be the stitches that the world needs to heal. Hope is the people, the family, who have made this place home. When this is over, I will speak my truth and make my peace with them, but those words do not need to be said through a microphone or a speaker. They will fall on the ears that they need to, without amplification. But the words that cannot, the words that rely on the memories of the many, are these words. Words that honor this project-based system, crafted and molded by careful hands, kind eyes, patient voices, and the lilting timbre of a trumpet, that shaped the person I have become and will continue to grow into. Words that honor the experiences and the memories, the buildings and the ground, and the unassailable spirit created and fostered by generations, maintained by a community of friends, peers, mentors, and family, which will continue to empower rising generations of students, just like it has done for ours.
Thank you so much. So as a gift back to the classes of 2020 and 2021, we continue with a tradition that has been going on for many years here. Each year we highlight each of our seniors' unique contributions to the Cabot School community. We are made stronger by each of them. To honor the students in the class of 2020 who are here today, Brian Boyes. Graduates, please stand as Brian reads your name.
Louis Searles. Louis, you have been at the heart of Cabot since your 9th grade year. You started and then completed your time here under challenging circumstances, yet you rose to each occasion with a drive that is remarkable. You had very high expectations for your school, yourself, and your teachers, and you pushed us all to meet the bar that you set. Driven by a dedication to social justice, you created history at Cabot School with your work towards raising the Black Lives Matter flag and the Pride flags. You have left an impact that have affected many and will resonate for years. In each of your journeys, you will leave your mark and make that place all the better for it. You did so much work to make sure that everyone in our community knew they were safe and loved and treasured for who they were. We love and treasure you for who you are too, and the world is lucky to have someone who will fight so hard for kindness, justice, integrity. Luca Sachs. Luca, there are not enough superlatives to describe you. You are curious, passionate, caring, generous, brave, musical. The list goes on and on. You are unapologetically yourself, and you have been greatly missed at Cabot. From playing with the band, to contributing in class, to representing Cabot at Funnery, you bring intellect, positivity, and compassion to all that you do. Watching the joy with which you engage in all your learning experiences is something that fuels teachers. Hearing your points of view in class, always eloquently constructed and calmly offered, was a privilege. The world needs young people like you. You are strong without feeling like you have to prove it to anyone. Continue to take on life with the same determination that you have always shown. We can't wait to see what paths you'll create for yourself. To honor the class of 2021, Thomas Dunbar.
Blue Christensen. Blue, you walk to the beat of your own drum, and what a beautiful beat that is. You have a keen artistic vision that matches your endless curiosity. You always had the best questions during class that showed how deeply interested in learning you are. Few students have derailed as many classes from genuine curiosity as you. Wherever life takes you, you will confidently do things your own way, never giving in to the unrealistic expectations of society. Many never learn this valuable lesson until much later in life. As you move forward with AmeriCorps and CCC after graduation, we are confident that you will continue to grow while having wonderful adventures. Never stop exploring, Blue. Charlotte Fosterfell. Charlotte, when Alex first met you, you said, "My name is Charlotte. I like bugs and I don't do homework." You are a true individual and artist. You have a kind heart and a mind that sees things outside of the box. You've taught us a lot about how to be better teachers, and now you're moving into the field of education yourself. This year on Wednesdays, you brought your creativity, humor, and giving nature to the elementary art classes, helping your younger students realize their artistic potential. You are and will be an excellent educator. We will all miss the little waves you gave every time you see us. Literally every single time, even if we just leave the room for a second. Victoria Mayo. Victoria, you have the heart of an adventurer. You want to see it all. You love the world and the world loves you back. Since middle school, you have been an impressively capable and quick learner. You know your path well and go after what you want. You have already jump-started your future. We have missed your joyful presence in class this year, but we are proud of everything you have accomplished. Your dedication to learning is exemplary, and you will make an amazing medical professional. Aiden Morse. Aiden, you have a wonderfully unique way of looking at the world. One of Brian's earliest memories of you is of a young elementary student playing a game of your own design that involved a small bouncy ball and the entirety of the C-SPAC floor. The universe of that game inside your mind must have been an intricate, unique, and above all, fun. Fast forward 10 years, and it is clear that all of modern-day Aiden's adventures are uniquely fun, intricate, and clever. Whether it is developing a startup company concept, designing the finger-pinger instrument, playing music, building film sets, delivering speeches, or taking the computer science world by storm, you are sure to bring intellect, critical thinking, and creativity to the task. Leo Parlow. This school is losing its greatest source of quips and banter, Leo Parlow. Leo, you bring laughter, curiosity, and energy to every encounter. You have a lot of fun while learning, but you never lose your drive and dedication. You have excelled as a drummer here at Cabot. Even as a middle schooler, you served as our lead high school drummer. You are much more, though, an actor, writer, comedian, dreamer, thinker, teacher, boundary pusher, combat choreographer, dungeon master. We could go on. Your intellect, skill, creativity, dedication, and talent have been priceless. We can't wait to see the world you go on to create. Danielle Reeves. Danielle, when you came to Cabot, you had a quiet demeanor and reservedness, but you have since shown yourself to be a triple threat: creative, curious, and compassionate. Your commitment to the Cabot School community has been an inspiration. You bring humor and compassion to every challenge you encounter. Your leadership, attention to detail, and creative vision were also instrumental in so many of our major productions and projects, which would have not been nearly as good without your steadfast work. We will miss you dearly, but your legacy here will be lasting. Micaiah Smith. Micaiah, you embody the human qualities of kindness, acceptance, and generosity. You create an open, accepting, and welcoming air in any group you're in. You once taught your fellow students how to braid grass in the middle of the forest. For this and many other reasons, you are a living, breathing Snow White. You also hold yourself to a very high standard and have always shown yourself to be a hard-working, deep-thinking student. You have a persevering attitude, and you keep working on projects until they are completed to satisfaction. As a visual artist, singer, actor, and songwriter, you have been a treasure to our school. We are confident that whatever you choose to do in the future, you will find great success and make the world a brighter place. Jonah Sachs. Jonah, the thing about you is that whatever you do, you give yourself to it fully. You laugh big, think big, and love big. You like to engage with big existential ideas and complex concepts, but you also have an impressive willingness to commit to a joke. From the theater to the ultimate field, you always seem to put your whole heart into the Cabot community. You are an amazing role model to our younger students, and you will be missed as a student, a bassist, and a friend. We hope that you will always find a way to utilize your big strengths in whatever you do. Emmett Steinert. Emmett, as a bookworm blacksmith cello player, you define the role of the artist. As a reader, you have promoted reading among teens across the state. As a musician, you prompt us to imagine and to dance. As a blacksmith, you bring a 21st century sensibility to an ancient art. You are a curious intellect who reads, laughs, thinks, and shares what you are learning. You do all of this with infectious enthusiasm and a soft smile. You are simply an inspiration. Lexi Tatro. Lexi, you combine an amazingly kind spirit with an understated sense of humor and an air of cool unflappability. You are the embodiment of the saying, a heart of gold. Your willingness to persevere through challenges and navigate the hurdles that life throws up have paid off. We have seen so much growth in you over the past few years. It has been an amazing thing to behold. I cannot count the number of times you would tell me you didn't know something and then explain a concept perfectly. We are so proud of what you have accomplished. We hope that you are too.
Thank you. And we have, Glenda has joined us because she is really the principal who was going to graduate you last year. And so at this point, I'm going to invite Glenda up to help present diplomas and say a few words to the class of 2020.
Actually, these are words that I would have said to the class of 2020 and the class of 21 and 22 and 23 last year when I left if we had been in session. And so I want to say to all of you here and to the graduates of both classes that I am really truly honored that you invited me back here today, because I have a thing or two to say to you. And so listen up. Being part of your high school experience is truly the highlight of my career. Why? because in meeting Cabot's rigorous graduation requirements, you touched my life. And I believe you touched the lives of everyone here today and many, many others in the Cabot community. You see, your project studio work engaged us. You brought us together to hear your music, and we didn't just sit and listen, we danced. You published a cookbook, and that cookbook challenged our conventional wisdom about food. You made a movie. You spoke out, you shared your thinking with us through TED Talks, and you courageously and fearlessly engaged 6 to 7 people that you did not know in Socratic conversations about controversial topics. In sharing your work, you put cutting-edge research and your ideas into our hands. You invited us to shed our misconception and to think with you about new possibilities. You wrote a musical, and when COVID closed public performances of the show, you pivoted and learned how to mount the show online. You came together and raised the Black Lives Matter and Pride flags and taught every one of us here today what it means to engage in civil discourse, to share our points of view, and to listen to you and to each other. Every day, I learned from you what it means to question, be curious, to keep learning, and to keep growing. You have much, much to be proud of, every single one of you. But we have much to thank you for. So in a few minutes, you're going to cross this stage to receive your diplomas and take the first steps away from Cabot into the rest of your life. No matter where your dreams take you, please continue to speak out. Share your ideas and your questions, risk an answer or two, follow your heart, raise your voices for love and justice. Engage us curiously and fearlessly as you have here on campus. Dance. And when the going gets tough, and it will, allow this diploma to remind you of your strengths and achievements. You have proven your power. Now it's time to trust it and to trust yourselves and get out there. You've got this. Where are the names? Are there diplomas behind? Yep. Okay. So I am now going to start the journey to the stage. So Louis Koshi Searles. Luca Athena Socks.
For the class of 2021, please stand to accept your diplomas. Blue Christensen. Charlotte Foster Fell. Victoria Mayo. Aiden Thomas Olson Morse. Leo August Parlow. Danielle Reeves. Micaiah Jade Smith. Jonah James Socks. Emmett Steiner. Alexis Tatro. Graduates, to signal your completion of your time at Cabot School, get prepared. Please move your tassels from right to left. And to welcome you as the newest members of the Cabot alumni community, Micaiah Smith and Danielle Reeves will lead us in the Cabot School alma mater. You can find the lyrics on the back of your program. Feel free to sing along.
Okay, so it's for Gabby.
Congratulations to the classes of 2020 and 2021. You are graduates.
Families, I'd invite you to meet your graduates in the back.
Someday you wish upon a star. Wake up with clouds of fog. High above the chimney, that's where I'll find Congratulations, good job,
Okay, stick it out.
No, you can get it.
Yeah. That's the next one.
Yeah.